Hello and welcome to a Not So Awesome Review. And today I'm going to be showing you guys where I got these extra Keyblades and how to paint them mostly, because if you haven't figured out what these extra Keyblades are, well, you're about to find out in a second anyways, but this tutorial is mostly on just how to paint them and make them look good. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. It is a little bit long and rambly. I actually just shot it, and this is just the intro, so if I'm repeating anything from there, I apologize. One thing I do want to mention is that some of them he can't hold that great, like the Sleeping Lion here. Kind of hard to get him to hold it in his hand. A little bit of a balancing issue, because like I said, these are a little bit heavier than the plastic one that he comes with, so definitely be careful. Maybe don't keep him posed with them for too long, just because you don't want to loosen up any joints. It could happen. I really don't know, but that's just a heads up on that. Really good for mostly people who want to do photo toy photography, and trying to think if there's anything else I left out in the beginning of the video, the tutorial part. Yeah, if you get any paint on his hands, don't freak out, don't worry. For the most part, nothing is rubbing off when I do it, but if you do, with the way I'm doing this, just a little bit of rubbing alcohol will come, they'll come right off. A little bit of water actually will just come right off. Won't damage the figure, won't damage the keyblades at all. I haven't sealed mine, which is probably why that's happening. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and yeah, enjoy. Alright, so first thing you're going to need is the keyblades themselves, which are keychains that you can find at your local GameStop. Amazon carries them for pretty cheap, going for like $5 to $8 depending on the Keyblade. And just a quick close-up so you can see what we're going to do here is the Oblivion. Basically, these come in full silver when you buy them, and all I'm showing you guys really is mostly how to paint them. Now, they do hold on to his hand pretty good. Some of them better than others. Obviously, the wider the little handle here is, the easier it is for him to grip. The Sleeping Lion here, it's a little bit smaller, a little bit harder to get him to hold it, but he can hold it. And my only warning with this is that, they are a little bit heavier. They are technically pewter, they're metal, they're heavy. He can hold them up no problem because his joints are tight, but I would say try not to leave him holding them for too long, because you don't want them to kind of weigh down the joints and eventually loosen them. This is more for people who like taking pictures with their action figures. If you guys don't know about that, check out ACBA and toy photography over on Instagram and stuff, and who knows, maybe you'll get into it. But yeah, like I said, these are actually keychains that you can get at your local stores. I got mine for $6 each at my local pop shop. This is, what is it, Way to Dawn, I want to say. It's Riku's Keyblade. I'm not going to be painting this one up just because I don't have the right mix of color that I need for the part that goes up here. It's kind of like a charcoaly grayish blue. I don't know. I feel like I'd rather wait to paint that one up. Even though, in a way, it is kind of redundant, because I'm sure we're going to get a Riku eventually, and, he'll come with that Keyblade. Another thing to note is you can tell that the Keyblade, the Kingdom Key here, is definitely a lot bigger than these keychains. So they're smaller, but they still fit. They still look good as long as you don't have him holding the Kingdom Key with it. And, if I remember, some of them might have actually been longer than the other ones, so that's just a thing to note. Anyways, here we have Oathkeeper, and this is what it looks like when you take it out the package. Has this whole thing to clip on. And main thing we're going to do is take off this little O-ring right here. The way you're going to want to do that is with pliers. Just grab it on to one side. And I had another pair of pliers here somewhere, but I have no idea where they disappeared to, so I'm going to use these clippers and just twist. Opens up, no problem. Slide it out. Put this either wherever you want. I usually just put them back in the bag. And just like that, there's the Keyblade. And like I said, it is all silver, so the main thing I want to show you guys is how to paint these. And the reason is because pewter, it's a metal, it's smooth, They apparently did make miniatures. I guess they're not as popular anymore from, like, my research for, like, Warhammer and all that kind of games like that. And the thing is, when you're painting that kind of material, it's smooth. It's not going to want to, the paint's not going to want to adhere to it if you're going to use something like acrylic, which I'm not actually going to use acrylic, but if you guys want to do that, that's your choice. I don't think it would look as good. What you're going to want to do is spray it with something like Mod Podge, Matte Sealer. I believe there's another brand too that you can get at like Walmart or your local craft store. The reason you're going to want to paint, or not paint, spray the matte sealer on it first is so that you can have a kind of roughness on the pewter there so that the paint will stick. Now, the way I'm going to show you, you don't have to do that, though it might seem more expensive depending on how you look at it, considering how cheap acrylic paint can be. But I'm going to be using, once again, alcohol-based markers. Why? Because they basically dry almost right away when you touch the metal here. Actually, the more I'm looking into alcohol-based ink, the more I'm liking it as a medium for painting. Now, when it comes to things like pink foam core, which a lot of people use for dioramas and stuff, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think it will actually work that great. But for stuff like this, for plastic models, alcohol markers actually, they're good. Alcohol-based ink dries really good on this stuff. And yeah, this is the Soul Color art markers. I talked about them during my Broly video. I'm actually not going to be using this yellow just because I have a Copic yellow that I like a little bit more than that one, which I have here, which is acid yellow. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, Y08 acid yellow. And for the other two colors, I'm using royal blue and a baby blue from the Soul Color line. So I have a picture pulled up next to me showing me the color, basically how this looks. And I'm gonna leave this silver, though in the image it looks more like a white silver type of color. So if you guys want to try and get some white, they do sell white. What is it called? Mickey just fell over. Random. They do sell white alcohol ink that you can use separately. I haven't seen a white marker, but maybe they do exist. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna, looking at it, it looks like it's yellow at all three of these ends, with a darker blue and a light blue in the middle, and then yellow on this side of the heart with blue on the inside of that side. And it looks like blue towards the handle with yellow on the edges and yellow kind of highlighting the edges here, with the star at the end here being yellow. So I'm going to show as much of this as I can on the camera. I don't know how well this will come out. I'll move this. So sorry for shaky cam, but let's see if I zoom in just a little bit. So I'm going to start off here and just show you guys kind of just how easy it is and how fast things dry. And then maybe I'll finish this off camera just so that I don't mess up. But we'll see. We'll see how much I can do here. So you're gonna want to do a few layers of it, especially the yellow, because the yellow is like definitely a lighter color. But you can already see the yellow coming onto it, especially on the camera. In person, it's a little bit harder to see, but if I touch it, nothing's coming off. It's good. It's pretty much dried like a few seconds, if not the second it touches, which is what I like about alcohol ink, is that it dries really good. And as opposed to using acrylic, which gives it that kind of latexy kind of layered, it would be layered with like a nice rubbery thing of paint if you use the acrylic. This keeps its shine, which I think makes it look so much better, is the fact that the shine is there. So we did that one. Gonna do the bottom one here. And definitely be patient with this. You don't want to really mess up, though. If you do mess up, don't worry. Although it dries pretty instantly, you can't really rub it off with your fingers. All you have to do is go to your bathroom and get some rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. and kind of just dab it off and it will come off, because rubbing alcohol will basically get rid of alcohol based ink, which is another good thing about it. That I'm honestly really liking alcohol based ink the more I mess with it. So there we have the yellow tips there. Um, the heart piece I feel like is going to be a little bit more difficult to do on camera. It is definitely this part of it, so let me, if I go out of frame or out of focus a little bit, I apologize. Just want to try not to have to erase anything and do it again. Let's get a little bit of the outside here. Now it's this side. And like I said, it does have like a weird, almost non-dry feel to it when you touch it, but it doesn't rub off, doesn't come off. Don't, sit there with your nail and try to pick it off, because, well, it hasn't really cured or anything, so it will kind of come off if you do it like that. You can, like I said, seal it up again later with some acrylic sealer. If anyone knows something better to seal up alcohol-based paint, though, let me know, because I'm still new to it, but I'm really liking it. So let's do it from this side first. This is the darker blue, which goes on the lines here, but doesn't go all the way to the center. So much of that, like right there. And like looking back and forward at the picture here, trying to concentrate. And yeah, I am going off a little bit on the camera, so again, sorry about that. As you can see, these ones, the Soul Colors, don't have brush tips, which can sometimes be useful when it has a little nub. Sometimes sometimes not. Right here, I do kind of wish I had the brush tip going on, but the Soul Colors, the ones I'm using right now, are a lot cheaper than the Copex. These are a pack of, how many was it, like, I don't actually remember. It was a good pack, a good number of brushes, maybe 20 of them, maybe more, for 20 bucks. Whereas Copex, around $8 a marker if you're lucky and you buy it in person. If you buy it online, chances are they will raise the prices on the more popular colors. They do have different sets though, so there is that. I forgot to do the dark blue one. Alright, it's cool. Come back to that. See if the light blue shows up, because it is a lighter color. Yeah, so that's pretty good right there, if you ask me. Don't know if you guys can tell, I did kind of miss a few darker blue spots I'm gonna have to go over with, but for the most part, it's looking pretty good. It's looking a lot better on camera, I will say that right now. Of course, I am sitting pretty far away from it. Let's see, is it the dark blue? I want to say it's the dark blue on this side, with just a little bit of the light. So I'm gonna actually see if I can get some of the light blue on the inside here. maybe along the edge. And for anyone who's never messed with these kind of markers, the colors do blend pretty good with each other, but I don't know how they'll do on like a metal surface. But I know that typically they do blend really good with each other. Blue there, a little bit darker blue there, just because I missed it a little bit. Oh no, should I do the edge? Let's do a little bit of the edge because I already got some on here anyway. Yeah, I would say so far, so good. So I'm gonna finish off the handle here off camera because this is, gonna be a long video if I don't. And I will show you guys the results in, well, you'll see it right now, but yeah. In case anyone's curious on how I'm doing this without having to like paint like a lot, I'm just kind of just skimming over it like that. So it doesn't go over every little part and kind of gives it just on the raised parts, the yellow piece, which is a lot, but still looks pretty good. See the other side here, I did a little bit more. I accidentally got a little bit of yellow on here, which not a big deal. I can pretty much take that off. Funny enough, the part I'm painting right now, these little circle things, oh, you can't even see it. Those little circle things in the picture, they're actually facing the other way. So it looks like they kind of either the render I have is slightly off, or they messed these up just a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. I do wish that these parts were open right here because they should be. And there's probably a way to do it, but I'm not gonna bother trying to drill into that or anything. But yeah, I just gotta add the blue here and I will be mostly done, and star. And yeah. So here we have Oathkeeper. You can see I went a little bit overboard with the blue on there. I might dab some rubbing alcohol on there later to kind of just thin that out. Did go over it a little bit more on here. And I gotta say, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I think it would look a little bit better if I had a nice white to go over it. But said, unfortunately, I don't have white alcohol-based ink at the moment. So I'll probably look into that. You guys can see updates of these and probably the Riku's Keyblade, just forgot the name of it, weighted on my Instagram. It's in the link down below if you want a link to where to get these keychains. Again, it'll be down below in the description. And yeah, I gotta say, I like it. I mean, granted, they are smaller than the Keyblade that Sora comes with. Not by a whole lot, though. But they do look really nice. I'm hoping eventually we'll get like official Keyblades for these figures. But I feel like if we do, they're going to mostly be for, characters. It'll probably be like a different colored suit of Sora or some type of variant or something. This is just a cheap alternative for people who want them. Really easy to paint. Again, link to where to get these markers will be in the description. And I will link this yellow, assuming I can find it down below. Though you can typically buy these at your Hobby Lobby or Michael's craft stores. Not so much Walmart or anywhere like that, but if you have a hobby store like them, I don't think Joann's carries them, but I've never actually looked for any of those kind of markers at Joann's. But yeah, that's pretty much that. I'll leave you here with a few images of Sora with the Keyblades. And like I said, he can't hold them. They look pretty good in his hand. Be careful with the fact that they might loosen up the joints. That's just a warning. I don't know if that'll happen for sure, but I feel like him holding them for too long might end up doing that. I don't know. His joints are really tight, but you never know with action figures. And like I said, I will be painting this one separately, and I'll be posting pictures on my Instagram if you guys want to check that one out. Anyways, sorry for the long silence in part of me painting it, but concentrating and filming isn't that easy. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like button, subscribe, all that cool stuff, and comment down below with questions, or if you guys have any tips on how to seal these markers better than using maybe acrylic sealer. Maybe there's something else you can use. Uh, you can always experiment with sealer. You always get the keychain part, so I believe this part is actually the same material that's made of the Keyblade. This part I think is actually something else, but you know, it gives you something to experiment on and something to practice on. Anyways, once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.